Hey everyone, Rob Armstrong here, and you're watching My 5 Questions. Today's guest is going to be none other than my alter ego, concert photographer, Rob Armstrong. Rob, thanks for joining us today. Hey Rob, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. It's not like I have any other place else to be. So let's start from the beginning. Have you always wanted to be a concert photographer? How did you get started in concert photography? To give us a little background of when you grew up and when you discovered that photography was what you wanted to do. How did I become a concert photographer? I probably just fell right into it. When I was working at the casino, there was a lot of times I talked to the tour managers, and they didn't really care. I thought I'd take a stab at it. I mean, growing up, my room was always plastered with all the posters of all my guitar icons and everything like that. So I always thought it would be cool to have my own poster up my bedroom, on my bedroom wall. So I kind of fell into it when I was at the casino, and then once I moved out here, it was. I think it was then I just kind of like pushed myself into the music scene out here is incredible. So it's just that just give me one more reason to go see the bands that I can bring along my camera and just continue. Um, I didn't realize I had a passion for it until I came out here and started doing it on a more frequent basis. So that's kind of like how I got into concert photography. Living on Long Island, you have access to the bigger venues. You've got the NASA Coliseum, you've got MSG in Manhattan, you even have access to Barclays out in Brooklyn. Are there any big bands, big groups that appeal to you that you'd actually like to shoot? Yeah, that's a good question. With the bigger venues, to be honest with you, I'm not really in tune with who's actually touring. TSO, they're always great to shoot, but their restrictions is you got to shoot from the soundboard. Would love to get into the pit at Madison Square Garden, Barclays, and even the Coliseum, but like I said, I'm not really into who's actually touring all the big acts. And to be honest with you, the big acts really aren't my favorite style of music these days. Aside from Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Iron Maiden, but I wasn't able to get a photo pass for that. Um, Judas Priest. Um, I think the bigger acts like the Icons. Elton John would be great to shoot. Um, Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Are you kidding me? Those would be great acts. There's so much energy. J Lo. You might not like that certain type of music, but I think it would be a blast to shoot. That's great. Thanks for sharing. Are there any artists that really stick out as to your favorite? Any particular venues that you love to shoot at? Talk about some of your favorite shows that you've actually had the pleasure of capturing. Surprisingly, I think a lot of my favorite shows that I've had the opportunity to shoot are actually the tribute bands here on Long Island. Some of them are so good. Um, Jake Miller, they do he emulates Eddie Van Halen, dresses like him, puts on the hair. He's got a guitar, Frankenstrat. He's got great tone, and he does Eddie to the T. He's incredible. So you got Completely Unchained, Live After Death. They're great. Osmosis and Rock of Ages, Head Games, bands like that. They're just they bring it to they bring it to the stage every single time, and they have become, as far as tribute bands, a favorite of mine to shoot. I have been following Sons of Apollo for a few years now, or for a couple of years. Billy Sheehan, Ron Thal, those guys, they're incredible to shoot. They have high energy every show. And where I've seen them, Sony Theater, Sony PlayStation Theater, and Gramercy, and they had a great lighting system. So just because of the lighting, the high energy, I think that would be up with my favorites right now. Music has obviously been a large part of your life. Are there any artists, past or present, that you would absolutely just love to shoot, and where would you like to shoot them? Yeah, music's been a large part of my life. Just growing up with my mom, listening to all her bands, her blues bands, party bands. It just there's so many acts back in the '70s and even some in the '80s as far as past bands. You know, there's obviously people like David Bowie, Led Zeppelin. I wasn't around for Jim Morrison or Jimi Hendrix. You know, the bands like that or acts like that. Elvis, mid '70s. People that bring high energy, they're always fun to shoot. So, you know, like I said, Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page. I think those would be obviously on my bucket list. Excellent. Now, assuming that you'd still be a photographer, even if you didn't go into the concert photography, is there any specific genre that you would absolutely love to do if it weren't for concert photography? Yeah, that's a good question. If I weren't a concert photographer, I would absolutely love to be an underground photographer. I'd love to get scuba certified and become an underwater photographer. That shit's expensive though, so I would have to win the lottery for sure. But winning the lottery, then I would be able to travel the world, be a world photographer, be a nature photographer, just see what the world has to offer, see what's out there, and I think that would be an ultimate dream come true. Rob, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you've got a busy schedule. I look forward to seeing some more of your galleries. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining. I have absolutely no idea who's going to be next on my 5 questions, but it remains to be seen. Stay tuned.